Hello, go to Dubai without money. Sounds crazy, doesn't it? After all, Dubai is one of the most expensive cities in the world. But that's exactly what the heroes of today's video did. 3 examples of either courage or adventurism. What came of it, they will tell you further. That is, those who know have now heard the men's room in Kazan.
The view is actually as if from futuristic cartoons. Here, look, trams are running, the subway is running, cars are driving, and high-rises are standing, one in one, like in cartoons about the future. My name is Emil I'm from Kazan, Russia. Now we have a large team of hairdressers there. My challenge is not to spend the money I have, and I want to try to live on what I can earn. So it turns out that in a few days I recaptured the funds that I spent on the hostel, plus I still have time to even have a little fun. The first time I cut my friend's hair was in the first grade, and since then it would have fascinated me. Teamed up with several hairdressers, opened the first barbershop called Men's Room, or MR abbreviation. The challenge that I conceived how to live here, and it was born in Kazan, because I needed to understand how my team would then be able to live comfortably here. How you can live here inexpensively. I tried 3 times to leave Russia just to live, so not to live in the snow for 6 months. The snow pisses me off. I don't like snow. Because I come from the Altai region, we have snow 6 months a year, and I don't like it dark. I love the sun, warmth, happiness, joy, so that people smile. And there's no sun in Moscow, and you're just sad all the time. I packed my things, bought a mobile home, left it to my parents, and that's it, and came here.
Did you leave the mobile home to your parents?
Well, because I thought there would be a war, a direct war, that they would be bombed, and like the money they earned there, they were invested in a mobile home just in case, so that they could go somewhere and not to die. I always knew that very rich people live here, and that they have a lot of money, and that I know where to get money here. And I understand just the level of my divine hands. How can I cut? I'm going to work in the most expensive place in general, where they cut hair here, because the only place I can work is in the most expensive place. So I arrived, I immediately liked the fact that it was as warm as possible. I tried to rent a room right away for 3,000 dirhams, plus commission, plus money to a realtor. It turned out to be 4,500 dirhams. In general, I go into this small room, which is not at all like in the photos in the booking. Cockroaches are running around. So I'm not going to live here because there are cockroaches. I can't live with cockroaches. And that is, I'm just a wild pedant. And my friends, actually to whom I just wrote on Instagram, like, guys, who is in Dubai? I lived with them for 2 weeks. They just left me a place. They're in the room. They say, that's it, go to sleep. I slept there. Christusha was very worried about the fact that I was sleeping on the floor. I say, yeah, it's okay, but the posture will be even. What I like about Dubai, to be honest, is that the bravest and most talented people move here, probably who are unconfident in what they are doing. That is, if a person really knows what he is doing well, then why he is moving here? He is not afraid to do it, so he appreciates his work. I just write in the Dubai group, guys, I cut hair very expensive, but like a god. Like, let's get someone a haircut. And the man answers me, here I need a haircut. I'm going to him to the Palm Jumeirah, I'm cutting his hair. Sergey Bombasov, an athlete and entrepreneur from Moscow, is already my friend. It turns out, and he gives me the number of his friend Dmitry. Dmitry writes to me, oh, cut my hair please. I come to Dmitry, I cut the second person, and I have a mandatory condition. I make a 50% discount on the first haircut, and then you have to recommend me to one person. At the moment, I have 25 people getting haircut. And it happened within 3 weeks. 500 dirhams to get a haircut, 1,000 dirhams to paint, and with one gradient, 2,000 dirhams. Well, that is, if a man I come to his house, he needs to cut his head, beard, this is 1,000 dirhams. I arrived here, it was late in the evening. And I called my friends. They say, call a taxi, come. The first acquaintance, we can say, with Dubai was me riding a Lamborghini with McLaren. I really liked it. It was great. There are cryptocurrencies, rented cars there from Kazan. They're here too, they moved here too because they also don't like what is happening there, what is happening in Russia. They asked me, and where you will move in next? I say, I don't know, I haven't rented anything yet, just riding now. And so it turns out I spent a few days on the Palm Jumeirah and watched hostels in parallel. I was advised by Muhammad. He's from Chechnya, so he also has a hostel. My name is Muhammad. I'm a full 37 years old. I was born and lived in Chechnya for quite a long time. Then studied in Kazan and lived in Moscow for the last 12 years. I've been here for 7-8 months already in Dubai. I decided, after all, if not now, then never again. I took a backpack, took a ticket, did a PCR test and flew here. On June 26, I left the airport. It was 42 degrees Celsius. And I already wanted to go back, but I found a hotel in Booking, a nice new hotel. I lived for 2 weeks and the budget is not robbery. It began to shrink. Then I opened the Booking again. I wanted to see something more budget. I had never had any experience in hostels before in my life. I found it here on GBR. Here 6-7 minutes on foot, one hostel very nice from the photos. I arrived terrible in cleanliness in terms of contingent. I say, we need to open a hostel here, clean for normal people who have come. They just want to visit these sites on a budget, swim in the sea and fly back. Because that hostel had an 8-something rating here. By the way, we have a rating of 9.5. This is one of the best ratings in the general in Dubai, all sort of Rixos, Hilton and so on. Our hostel is called Mix. Well, this is a mix of what I was guided by. Probably there will be a question. A mix of cultures, religions, nationalities, interests and so on. If you look in the reviews, we have absolutely. Well, this is Dubai. It's not surprising. That is, from Sweden to the United States, from New Zealand and Sri Lanka, we've had everything. And all friends left. There are 5 rooms here. Of these 5 rooms, I myself live in one. Here's 1 6-bed, 2 4-bed and 1 double. There are 250 square meters here, 2,400 square feet. There was absolutely nothing here. We have equipped the whole kitchen. That's all bought. That is, there were empty walls here. We will name the average figure because in the summer it will be completely different figure. I haven't had a summer yet, but I suspect that there will be an average of 25,000 dirhams for this object. This one object should bring. It is gross. We plan to develop in the near future until autumn, these 4 to 5 months, 5 more facilities to open. These are GBR, Downtown, Palma and Business Bay. Spacious, clean, tidy. Cooked, cleaned, everything is in the refrigerator, super. And by the way, about the food, I will not say that it is very expensive to eat in Dubai. It was a shock to me that it was cheaper to eat here than in terms of income and expense. That is, I immediately stopped thinking in rubles. Relative to the income of the expense here is just incredibly cheap. That is, if I charge 300 dirhams for a haircut, a taxi costs 30 dirhams and meal costs 15 dirhams. But what do we have in the refrigerator? By the way, this is my shelf. Here I have proteins, meat and a little sweet treat myself. There are still berries there. Like this. We don't have a lot of people living in the hostel right now. Respectively, my shelf is the largest. And this is where I sleep. This is one of the rooms here. There is a 6-bed. I'm alone here for now. Here is my place. At one point, I'm sleeping. Well, I'm almost asleep. Emil writes to me, says, "Man, some guy from the community told me about you, that you cut hair. Tell me how you're doing. I just moved in 2 days ago." I start telling him everything I know. It turns out that our birthdays are the same month. We're the same year of birth. And he names his children that way, which I would call that. Well, that is his son is Spartacus, and his daughter is Rasvet, and his wife is Venus. In short, I adore him. And that's it. And we somehow got caught up with him, and let's go look for a place under the barbershop. The figures are completely different here. And that's why we're attracting investors to open a barbershop here. And the idea is to make a hairdressing salon a level higher than what is offered on the market now. That is, according to the price tag, the check is also higher, so that those who would like to stand out among others, they have such a financial opportunity. And we're just considering one location where it is quite difficult to get to, namely to rent there, because there are quotas in this territory. It's called the Blue Waters area. There are quotas for enterprises that should be there. In Russia, it's not particularly necessary to spend a lot of money to open a company financially, because the duties as such are penny there. Here the duties are large from the state. The opening of a company here takes a little longer than in Russia. But when you start, launch an enterprise, taxation is much easier for you. If in Russia we also have a wage fund, there are working capital, there is VAT or some other things where it is necessary to take everything into account and counts so as not to lose. It is much easier here. There are working capital here. And you pay a fixed percentage from this working capital. And that is it. 5%. And we Arise are very responsible, so we will have the coolest barbershop in Dubai and the coolest beauty salon in general, undoubtedly. There will be no options. That is, this is a situation. It gave a push forward. On the contrary, something that I wanted to do more and more and create something new.
Your challenge is successful.
Yes, even more than that. That is, I don't really cut that much. I don't have a huge customer base here. There are very few tonsures there. I have already closed my rent and it's comfortable. You can eat quietly and drive as calmly and also attend events. Somewhere in the area, I earned 3.7 thousand dirhams in 2 weeks, just like that. If you are not lazy, if you do not give up, if you are not afraid, then this is a wonderful country, a wonderful city in order to achieve your goals. Here is Emil. I told Emil too. Here, if you have a profession, if you are a craftsman, then it is much easier here. And if you have a mindset like mine, there's somewhere to organize something there and so on and so forth here. Of course, it is more difficult. Here I am, I think, plus I was lucky besides my life experience. There is also a share of luck. I know what it is. It's the mercy of the Almighty. But for the main audience, it will be like luck.
They say happiness is always on the side of the brave. We wish the guys good luck, and you write in the comments what you think. Have you ever had to change your life radically and start everything from scratch? New videos are coming very soon, so I'm saying goodbye for a while. See you!